Hey everyone! Today we're diving into some of the weirdest laws from around the world that sound totally made up. But trust me, they're 100% real. Get ready to learn about suspicious salmon, government-approved reincarnation, and why you might want to leave your high heels at home when you're visiting the Parthenon. Let's get started. Okay, first stop, Germany. A country rich in history, culture, and some pretty strict driving rules. Home of Oktoberfest, giant pretzels, and the Autobahn, Germany offers a unique blend of tradition and modernity. You know, that highway where you can basically drive as fast as you want? Well, there's a catch. It's not just about speed, it's about responsibility. Running out of gas on the Autobahn isn't just a major bummer, it's actually illegal. Yes, you heard that right. Illegal. The German government takes their Autobahn very seriously. They have strict rules to ensure safety and efficiency. They figure if you're going to be zipping around at warp speed, you better be prepared. This means keeping an eye on that fuel gauge. So, before you hit that gas pedal, make sure your tank is full, like really full. It's not just a suggestion, it's a necessity. Because if you sputter to a stop on the side of the Autobahn, out of gas, well, get ready to meet the German Polizei. And trust me, that's not a fun experience. They won't be offering you a friendly push to the nearest gas station. Nope, they're all about enforcing the rules. Running out of gas is considered a preventable offense, so don't let a simple mistake ruin your trip. Trust me, your wallet will thank you, and you'll get to enjoy the beautiful German roads without any unnecessary stops. Next up, we're heading to Greece, land of ancient wonders, delicious gyros, and apparently some very strict footwear regulations. Wearing high heels at historic sites like the Acropolis is a big no-no. It's actually to protect those ancient ruins from, well, those stiletto heels, as fierce as they might look, can actually cause some serious damage. So to preserve these historical treasures for generations to come, the Greek government decided to implement the no high heels rule. So, when you're packing for your Greek adventure, swap those stilettos for a comfy pair of sandals. Your feet will thank you, and you won't risk the wrath of Zeus for chipping the Parthenon. If these laws made your jaw drop, just wait for the next one, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I've got even crazier ones coming up. Alright, let's hop across the pond to the United Kingdom, a land known for its tea, crumpets, and apparently a deep suspicion of anyone caught handling salmon the wrong way. You heard that right. In the UK, it's illegal to handle a salmon suspiciously. The actual law, called the Salmon Act 1986, is pretty vague on the details, but basically, it boils down to this. If you're caught with a salmon, and the authorities think you might be up to no good, like maybe you poached it from a river or something, you could be in some hot water. Now, I'm not saying you need to start looking over your shoulder every time you order the salmon at a restaurant, but if you find yourself wandering the Scottish Highlands late at night, clutching a salmon under your trench coat, well, you might want to have a good explanation ready for the bobbies. Just another reason why the UK is a land of mystery and intrigue. So, while the law might seem a bit quirky, it underscores the importance of salmon in British culture. And like many British laws, it adds a touch of charm and eccentricity to the nation's legal tapestry. The UK is full of surprises, and its love for salmon is just one of the many delightful quirks that make it unique. Next stop, South Korea, land of K-pop, kimchi, and a unique approach to aging. Until very recently, South Korea had a rather interesting system for determining your age. Forget about celebrating your birthday. In Korea, everyone aged up together on New Year's Day. So, you could be born on December 31st and technically be 2 years old the very next day. This traditional system meant that Koreans could be 1 to 2 years older than their international age. It's all tied to traditional Korean culture, where age is a big deal. But don't worry, if you're planning a trip to Seoul, you won't be stuck trying to figure out if you need to add a year or two to your ID. In 2023, South Korea finally switched to the international age counting system. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of toilet laws. In Malaysia, they take their bathroom etiquette very, very seriously. So seriously, in fact, that it's actually illegal to not flush a public toilet. Failing to flush after yourself in a Malaysian public restroom could land you a hefty fine, or even worse, a night in the slammer. They're not messing around when it comes to bathroom hygiene. Rumor has it that Malaysia actually has toilet police who patrol public restrooms, making sure everyone is following the rules. So if you're planning a trip to Malaysia, remember to add flush with confidence to your list of things to do. It's the law. Let's head back to the good old US of A, where even state names can be a minefield of legal trouble. That's right, we're talking about Arkansas, a state known for its natural beauty, delicious barbecue, and apparently, a very specific way to pronounce its name. You see, in Arkansas it's not Arkansas like you might think, it's Arkansas. And yes, there's a law on the books to prove it. Back in 1881, the state legislature decided they'd had enough of people mispronouncing their beloved state's name, so they passed a law making it illegal to pronounce Arkansas incorrectly. The next time you find yourself in the natural state, remember to pronounce it Arkansas. Next up, we're traveling to China, a land of ancient history, rich culture, and fascinating traditions that span thousands of years. From its bustling cities where modernity meets tradition to its serene temples and ancient practices, China is a country of contrasts. And apparently, it also has a very bureaucratic approach to reincarnation. You heard that right. In China, if you want to come back in your next life, you better make sure you file the proper paperwork. Yes, even the afterlife has red tape here. In Tibetan Buddhism, which is practiced in parts of China, reincarnation is a big deal. It's not just a belief, but a fundamental part of their spiritual practice. And when it comes to important figures like high-ranking monks or even the Dalai Lama, the process of finding their reincarnated soul is taken very seriously. This isn't just a casual affair, it's a meticulous and sacred process. So seriously, in fact, that the Chinese government decided they needed to be involved. They believe that such significant spiritual matters should also be under their jurisdiction. That's why, in 2007, China passed a law requiring anyone seeking to reincarnate to obtain government permission. This law is not just a formality, it's a legal requirement. Even the Dalai Lama, one of the most revered spiritual leaders in the world, can't just come back willy-nilly. His reincarnation must be approved by the state. He needs to fill out the proper forms in triplicate, get them notarized, and wait for official approval from the Chinese government. It's a process that involves multiple steps and a lot of patience. It's enough to make you wonder if they have a whole department dedicated to reincarnation applications. Imagine an office where bureaucrats handle the paperwork for the next life, ensuring every detail is in order before you can be reborn. Hold on to your furry friends, folks, because we're about to dive into the world of pet laws in Norway. And let me tell you, they take their animal welfare very seriously in the land of the fjords. So seriously, in fact, that spaying or neutering your pet without a really good reason is actually illegal. In Norway, sterilizing pets is only allowed for medical necessity, not just convenience. So, if you're worried about your dog contributing to the overpopulation of puppies, or your cat spraying all over your house, you're going to need to have a chat with your Norwegian vet. And be prepared to present a strong case for why spaying or neutering is medically necessary for your furry friend. It's all part of Norway's commitment to animal welfare. Next up, we're heading to Iceland, the land of glaciers, geysers, and apparently some very strict baby naming laws. That's right, in Iceland you can't just name your kid anything you want. No, you have to choose from a government-approved list of names. In Iceland, they take their language and cultural heritage very seriously, and they want to make sure that Icelandic names stay, well, Icelandic. So, they created a naming committee which is responsible for maintaining a list of approved Icelandic names. If you want to name your child something that's not on the list, you have to apply to the naming committee for permission. They consider things like whether the name is compatible with Icelandic grammar and whether it's likely to cause the child undue embarrassment or hardship. And finally, we're ending our world tour of weird laws back in the good old US of A, specifically the Sunshine State of Florida. In some parts of Florida, it's illegal to sing in a swimsuit in public. This law isn't statewide. It's mostly enforced in certain coastal communities that are trying to maintain a certain level of decorum on their beaches. So, if you're planning a trip to Florida, and you're feeling the urge to channel your inner Beyoncé while soaking up some rays, you might want to throw on a cover-up first, or at least find a secluded spot on the beach where you won't attract the attention of the swimsuit police. Well, there you have it, 10 real laws from around the world that sound totally made up, but are in fact 100% real. From suspicious salmon to government-approved reincarnation, we've covered it all. Smash that like button if these laws surprise you, and don't forget to subscribe. We're not done with weird yet.